The murder of George Floyd in May 2020 raised people's awareness of racial inequality globally. In November 2020, the Race Cross-Sector Collaboration Group came together to share best practice and for peer-to-peer support. Collaboration when it comes to racial inequality is something that we need. Racial inequality doesn't just affect one company, it affects us as a UK PLC. So unity is needed in this area. Please take time to listen to what our executive sponsors have to say about what happened in the past year and what are their commitments going forward.
I think it's fair to say that we've always been quite proud of the work we've done in diversity and inclusion, but the events around George Floyd's death last year, I think, shone a light not just globally, but also on the work we were doing and made us think hard about, do we need to do more? And of course, the answer is yes in this area. We clearly need to increase our representation at all levels, but particularly at senior levels in the organisation of people from Black and ethnic minorities. And finally, for us, it's the legacy we'll leave. We're employing thousands of people across the engineering and construction supply chain. If we really sort of drive this agenda across HS2, we can leave a really powerful legacy, not just for HS2, but the wider sector. Thank you.
The events of last year acted as a catalyst for me to engage in a deeper way with our ONE network and to hear about their stories and struggles, both in their working and their personal lives. And as a result, we've been focusing on raising awareness of these issues right the way across our business. If we're to make real change for the better, which we will, we have to focus on equity in addition to equality. And this is about making sure that those with underrepresented voices are amplified to the same volume as the majority. And it recognises that we'll need to do more to help those from underrepresented groups to have truly equal chances.
We are proud to be one of the only companies in the sector to voluntarily publish our ethnicity pay gap report and encourage others to do the same. We have continued to improve our policies and processes, especially those related to recruitment, career progression, and supplier diversity to make them more inclusive. We have made changes to our ways of working, large and small, and implemented key improvements like reverse mentoring, internships, and working in our communities to address systemic racism and barriers to equality.
The George Floyd death coincided with our own Race Matters survey, a survey that told us about the true lived experiences of our ethnic minority populations. It didn't make for pretty reading. So the two things together have given us the determination and the momentum to truly do something about the issues we face. For example, this month we've started our Stand Up for Race, the first time in the industry where we're going to stand the business down and take an hour to talk about the impact of race discrimination on safety in our business.
So 1 year on, what have we done at Dŵr Cymru Welsh Water? Well, I think we've started a different kind of conversation. We're listening to our colleagues, listening to people's personal experiences, and also their reaction to wider world events. And we're also encouraging external speakers who have been in to talk to our Rethink network. We've also encouraged a BAME Plus network at grassroots level, which is creating initiatives throughout the organisation. And we've set ourselves a target that by the end of 2025, we will have at least one board director from a Black and minority ethnic background. We need to keep listening and we need to keep supporting colleagues and encouraging greater diversity, but we've definitely been spurred on.
So what we've done, led by our Race Network, is to speak very frankly with our colleagues about the issues in our business. And that's included a number of uncomfortable conversations and the use of focus groups to get that feedback. And as a result, as a business, we're now in the process of looking at a number of the aspects of what we do. We're working together with our staff to improve the transparency of our data, how we implement our processes, and looking at how we support our staff.
Thames Water is committed to being an inclusive and equal opportunities employer. And therefore, over the last year, we've been working closely with our BAME and Allies networks to review our employee and customer policies to ensure they are truly inclusive. We've also implemented reverse mentoring to ensure that we really take into account lived experience. Now, that's something I've personally benefited from. That's progress, but much more to do.
At Slaughter and May, we've been working with our clients, our professional colleagues, and with universities on these challenges. And most importantly, listening to ethnic minorities in the profession to better understand their lived experiences and the hurdles they face. There's so much more that needs to be done, and it does start with us as leaders. But by an assertive effort from all of us, we can collectively make a difference to ensure the workplace fosters greater inclusivity.
We recently signed up for the Supply Chain Sustainability School People Matter Charter, and we've started our Friday journey with the National Centre for Diversity. We've also established affinity groups to work on matters that our employees find most important for improving inclusion. That's what we've done. Now what are you doing? Thank you.
Costain will continue to be involved in cross-industry groups and help create racial equality across industries. We also aim to work with our supply chain collaboratively to create racial equality on our sites. Personally, I think we're only at the base of the mountain, but I'm pleased to say we're part of the pack who have started the climb. The more we can work to influence individuals and organisations to join the conversation on racial equality, more change can be created.